I know I have not been a consistent poster, and it's because, y'all, I am not a content creator. Like, that is just not something that brings me joy. Like, I don't like creating content. I don't want to just film videos just to film a video, just to put something out there. Like, if I don't have something really important to talk about or something that's really on my heart to talk about, I just cannot bring myself to record a video and post it. I don't like posting on Instagram. I don't like posting on TikTok. I don't like creating posts for Facebook, LinkedIn. Like, I just want to exist in my life, in my brilliance, do what I love, share what needs to be shared, and move through my day. But unfortunately, in order for me to be the rich and famous woman that I envision in my head, and not even famous, because I don't want to be famous, I just want to be rich and happy, okay? In order for me to achieve that, I gotta, come out here and show my face. So here we are. And I wanted to do this video in particular because I don't want to be an influencer or content creator. I just want to help people. Like, in every single thing that I have done in my life and that I plan to do in my life, it revolves around helping others achieve something. It's about pouring back into my community. It's about providing resources, education, improving circumstances. That's literally who I am at my core. And so when I'm making videos or I'm trying to think of a topic to talk about in a video, I want to make sure that it's something that's going to benefit people. Like, I don't want to talk about a day in my life. Like, I don't want to vlog. None of those things brings me joy. And quite frankly, I just don't have the time or the energy to do all of that. But I do want to share. And so there's so many parts of my life. And I think that's another part of this, right? When we are trying to build community and we're trying to figure out our lane, sometimes it's really hard because we have so many different parts of ourselves that make us great and amazing, and we don't know which parts to share or which parts to showcase. And that is exactly where I am right now. I don't know what I'm actually supposed to be sharing, and so because I don't know, what I should be talking about, sometimes I just don't talk. But I wanted to do this video in particular because that is the topic of this video. Like, when you are such a multifaceted and multi-passionate person, how do you find your space, right? And then build your community for the people that need your multifacetedness. I don't even know if that's a word, but it's going to be a word today, okay? How do you find the people that need that? And so for me, I'm going to share a little bit about me. And then what I need from you is for you to tell me what is the thing that you would like to come to this channel for. And it can be multiple things. It can be one thing. But I do want feedback. Feedback is helpful. Because as someone who genuinely wants to serve and help and transform people's lives and situations, you sharing with me what is beneficial to you and what will help you allows me to then create videos that will do just that will serve that purpose. So I am a mom of a beautiful little girl who is on the autism spectrum. My daughter was diagnosed with autism at 3. She is 8. She'll be 9 next month. We have come a long way on that journey. And while there are so many other families and caregivers and parents who are navigating this diagnosis, I definitely have my own perspective and my own journey to share, and I'm always open to sharing what has worked for me, my daughter, and my family on that journey. I can share with you how I advocated to get her a diagnosis because people were not trying to listen to me. I can share with you different things that I've done as a parent to learn how to help her to get into her world. I can share what I've learned about IEPs and the education system and how to advocate for your child. And I'm still learning. I still ask questions. I research because I want to be well informed and able to argue my points whenever that has to happen. I'm also the mom of a young adult child who was diagnosed with a mental health condition as a teenager. And that is a topic that is very sensitive for me, but I know that it needs to be discussed because that's one of the things that in the book that I plan to write in the near future, called The Things They Don't Tell You About Motherhood. That's one of the things I want to talk about in that book, because we do not talk about our children and mental health and the toll that it takes on the child, the parents, siblings, extended family, the household. We don't talk about those things enough. We don't talk about the resources and lack of resources. We don't talk about the consequences. We don't talk about the deficiencies in the areas where we really just don't have a clue how to navigate. Like, we do not have these conversations. I don't know if it's because we're all so private and, you know, or we're fearful of what people may say, or we don't want people to blame us for whatever reason. I don't know. I know why I'm hesitant to share is because I try to value my children's privacy as much as I can. But I do realize that this is a topic that needs to be discussed more, because the more that you talk about things, the more you can advocate for change and the more you can fight for change. So if we don't talk about it, nobody knows that it needs to be changed. We don't have groups of people out here advocating and fighting, and so everything stays the same. So that's something that I absolutely would love to talk about more. Not necessarily sharing my child's personal stories, but sharing the journey, the challenges, and how I as a mom have navigated that, and things that I have had, hard decisions that I've had to make as a mom navigating that space. Let's see. I am a women's health advocate to the T, okay? I spend a lot of my time just educating people on women's reproductive health. Like, I have friends who will call me up and be like, okay, XYZ is going on. Or I have a friend who was pregnant or got pregnant later in life in her 40s, and she called me and she was like, how is this possible? And I was like, oh girl, you didn't know? Perimenopause is the time where your body is out here fighting to get you pregnant, you know? So I spend a lot of time teaching people about women's reproductive health, answering questions. I've worked in women's reproductive health for about almost 10 years. Is my absolute favorite specialty. So talking about endometriosis, adenomyosis, PMOS, and just talking about periods, and talking about how we help our daughters navigate periods. All of those things are near and dear to my heart, and I spend a lot of time speaking about those things. That's another thing that I talk about. I also have a extensive background in healthcare, sonography, clinical operations, leadership. My master's degree is in leadership. I have a strong background in just training and development, leadership development, change management, process improvement. And I've never held a title, but I've done all the work. Program management. I've never had a title. I've never held the title in the corporate world or in the clinical space, but I've always done the work. And that's one of the things that I talk about and that I teach on and I advocate for, is that we change, especially in healthcare, how we do leadership in healthcare, because representation matters. And I'm not just talking about race and gender. I'm talking about departmentally. How do we represent each department and each service member, each member of the healthcare team in leadership properly and effectively? And so that's another part of my life that I'm very skilled in and have a lot to talk about and have a very strong background in. And so I like to share things about that too. I created a community for moms called Wild Moms Club that I haven't been as active in the past 2 years, but I started it in 2019, and it is a community dedicated to the unity and success of women with children and big dreams. And it's something that I started because I wanted to help moms with business life and leadership, or career life and leadership, or just goals, life, and leadership. Because it's something that I think so often women try to navigate certain things alone, or they don't know who they can go to for support or who they can talk to for help, because they don't feel like people understand their situation. Like, yes, you have these really big dreams and goals and hopes, but you also have a family. You may have a special needs child. You may have multiple kids in multiple stages of life. You may be married and navigating so many other things, and you don't know how to prioritize yourself and what it is you're trying to work on. You don't know how to, set up certain systems for yourself so that you're able to achieve your desired level of success. Maybe you have a lot of ideas and you don't know how to sift through them and figure out what's the thing you should be doing or working on. You don't know how to put the plan in place, like whatever it looks like. I created that community to help moms do that thing, because I'm very good at solving problems. I'm very good at creating systems. I'm very good at seeing the whole picture and breaking it down, explaining complex topics. Like, these are all things that I'm naturally just good at. I don't know why, but it's who I am as a person, and I enjoy doing it. People come to me to solve problems. People come to me for advice. I like to say that I am chief problem solver and strategic advisor. That is literally what I do, and I'm very, very good at it. And so I talk about things like that. I talk about how I had a friend who runs a business, and she came to me and she was like, I don't know how to get my team on board with the rules that I need them to follow. They're not treating my business like a real business. And I was like, well, what did you put in place to make sure that happened? We talked through all of the things that she hadn't done, because as a small business owner, as a solopreneur, some things you just don't think about doing. And so I ended up creating her SOPs for her, for time management, behavior, expectations, dress code, all the things, because that's not something she had thought of creating. And so I do these things because it's naturally how my brain works, and that's what brings me joy. Let's see, what else do I talk about? What else am I good with? I think I covered everything. Hopefully I covered everything. But yeah, so this is why I don't know what I'm supposed to be talking to you all about and what you need from me, because I do not want to talk unless I have something of value for you, unless I am helping somebody. Because talking just to talk is like, why though? Why? So now that you know a little bit more about me, let's not forget that I also am opening Glow and Gather Beauty Collective, which is my clean beauty store that I did open back in April in a small marketplace. I was starting small, growing my brand, growing my community, my customer base, and that was abruptly closed within 3 days of opening because the place that I opened in filed bankruptcy, shut all its locations down. I lost a lot of money. I had a lot of heartbreak from that moment, but that is another thing that I'm working on. I am not a beauty expert by any means, okay? Do you see me right now? You see my hair, baby? This took some time, okay? Me and my natural hair have a love-hate relationship. But I'm not a beauty expert, but what I do know, I understand health. I understand well-being. I understand toxins and pollutions and the way certain ingredients and certain toxins affect our reproductive health and affect our hormones and affect our overall well-being. That is the stuff that I understand, which is why I decided to do a clean beauty supply store in the first place. I'm also very well aware of what happens within our community, how people in the Black and brown community are treated by other individuals who open stores in our communities but don't value value us, don't respect us, don't care for us. So all of those are reasons why I opened my own space and why I will open a bigger space that will serve the community at a much larger capacity than what I think I even thought of in the beginning. So there's that as well. So I talk a lot about just clean beauty, health and well-being overall, what the journey is like opening a beauty supply store, how I source my brands and my products, because I'm very particular. I prioritize small Black owned and women owned brands that are not necessarily in the big name stores, because I like to give smaller businesses opportunities to grow. That was one of the main things that was in my business plan. I want to be a community resource. I want to help others. I want to pour back into other people. For me, it's not just about making money and keeping it. It's about me making money so that it can circulate within our community. So that's also another thing that I talk about and that I have experience in. So you tell me what you feel you can get the most benefit from. And if it's a combination of things, please let me know, because I want to be able to say that I wasn't on here just talking and throwing out videos just because. That everything that I put out served a purpose, and it helps someone, even if it's only one person. It helps someone do something. So if you can help me, I can help you, and I'll be back real soon.